Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're wrong, what you getting in? Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, this a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You could call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling, that's enough rapping. Perfect Plex Radio. Simply, we about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go!
Welcome to Perfect Plex Talk Radio, everybody. That's 2 weeks in a row, damn it. That is 2 weeks in a row. And this part, I'm mad because I actually unmuted myself and unmuted it again because I heard something here. But everybody, welcome to UPR presents Perfect Plex Radio. We are live. We are the alphas and the omegas of professional sports talk radio. And we are here. Urban Unpopular Review Wrestling is where we are. You can find us live on Twitter, on TikTok, on TubeYube, on the book face. Elon Musk ain't got shit on this program, but you can buy us though. You want to spend $62 million on us, Mr. Elon Musk? You can come on back. But until then, I'm going back to Black Planet. I'm your host, Mike Knoxxx. I spoke with 3 X's because, damn it, like Bryan Twitter, I am hardcore. And as always, y'all think I be bullshit. I talk a lot of shit. You know why I talk a lot of shit? I got my right hand man. Get him, Moose!
What up, everybody? You know who it is? It's your boy, the almighty, a.k.a. Dice Man. Holla, a.k.a. the Z is silent, a.k.a. Big Kiff, big champ in the chat for those not in the know, a.k.a. the incomparable, the undeniable, a.k.a. Mr. Shang Tsung of this debate shit. You come for me, your soul is mine. a.k.a. your mama's favorite daddy, a.k.a. the apprentice of Thanos. Don't make me snap my finger. What's going on? And I'm excited today.
Hold on,
we get to talk about one of my guys. One of my GOATs, my top 5 of all time. Just finally, I'm going to put some respect on his name. And that is Randall Keith Orton.
First of all, you didn't say a.k.a. Big Champ in the Cat. And I was ready for this week, right? Because I was going to say, I'll take your belt and I'll raise you a slammy.
I did it early.
Okay. Well, I'll raise you a slammy. Get you one. It's like hair plug for men. You all deserve to have one of these. Listen, welcome to the show. Like he said, we're excited because we get to speak about 20 years of Randall Keith Orton today. He's going to celebrate him, but they're going to celebrate him his way, their way. Nah. Check out the top tick. That's at Real Mike Knoxxx. And I got to have the top 50 RKOs I'm going to debut over the next 17 hours. Okay? Because that's how bored I am. I took all these shits from somebody on YouTube and I made it myself. So there it is. And you're right. This is Unpopular Reviews Wrestling Show. I'll probably say UPRE. That's a great ring to it. But what's going on? Look at my sexy, vivacious wife in the back there bringing me shots while we live on air. I'm going to take one just for you, baby. There it is. But today on this program, guys, honestly talk, we got a lot to talk about. You ready for this? They ain't ready for this. We're going to get a lot of flack on this one, Dice. The top 7 wrestlers of the modern day era. And y'all know how we do things. There's got to be a criteria. Why do we pick 7? Because damn it, we like the number 7. It's like a holy number. It's like a spiritual number. So we pick 7. From now on, we're going to have top 5. That's for Platt on Unpopular Review Sports. He got the top 5. We're going to do 7. No honorable mentions here, Mr. Chris Harris. None of that. No honorable mentions. I'm lying. I guarantee you I have at least 1 or 2 in this list. But we're going to find out. Now, longevity has to matter. Okay. And listen, people, don't be all with your thongs up your arse. Okay. Modern day, Dice, tell them how long that goes back. Because modern day wouldn't mean Hogan. Okay.
No.
It wouldn't mean Savage. Wouldn't mean weird.
According to the wording that they use in the modern times, it's 2000 to now.
Man, that's a long goddamn time, bro. That's 20 years.
That's a long time. Listen, you know how long it took me to realize that 2010 was considered a new era? It took me to like 2015 to realize that. So, yeah, And let's be honest, there was a period of wrestling in between 2009 to like 2013, 14, where it kind of was meh. It was kind of meh.
Did you say meh?
Meh. Like sometimes, like I there was a time period when I don't even remember watching SmackDown.
Never. And I was in them streets, and I still was watching SmackDown. Okay, I would you laughing. All right, I would tell my mans we'd literally be out there doing our thug thizzle, and I'd be like, "Yo, dog, it's 8:00." Right, and we would we go back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Whoever was with us gotta come. Hold up. She even said, "Hey, the Dice. I know shit getting out of hand. Wait, look at my wife paying attention. What's up, Tommy T? What's up, Tommy T? Appreciate the love. DC, throw them ones up. 7 is her number. Longevity always matters, unless, she make me come fast, but I never get embarrassed. Okay, so that is why? Because you get to know that. Okay, sometimes it just happens. Okay, it's nobody's fault. But longevity. What they've done, like this is like a goatish kind of list, y'all. We went over the goats last week. You got to make sure you are, you goatish to be on this top 7 of the modern day. Then we also going to talk, like we said, Randall Keith Orton and the week that was professional wrestling. But we're bringing back Too Sweet or I Got 2 words for you. Suck it. And it's fake news that we see every day. Death to dirt sheets. And while we're at it, fuck you, Dave Meltzer. Dice, the floor is yours.
So, in the biggest news, well, actually, I don't want to start with the biggest. I don't want to start with the biggest.
Okay.
I want to start with the comments that Eric Bischoff made in regards to Tony Khan, in which he basically said that Tony Khan is making a mistake by giving his wrestlers too much power, i.e., late WCW. Now,
well, he would know, but he would know.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for him to critique it now. You're like, you have a good woman, and then but you see something that kind of intrigues you. And then years later, you're like, you know what? I shouldn't have cheated on that bitch. I knew better. I lost a good woman. I lost a good
80-20.
So I look at it in that perspective, right? So he says that Tony Khan is giving his wrestlers too much power. His talent is getting too much power. Why? Because he's allowing them to personally file trademarks to be used on his television program. I get it. In one sense, it's kind of like a versus battle, right? So Swiss Beats and Timberland gives the artist control, so therefore, they get streamed. Like, so if I go to Spotify and I access this versus playlist, versus gets paid, Timberland, Swiss, and the artist gets paid. All right. So now you got extra people going to go look for this music, but now the artist is getting taxed via versus, as opposed to these people going to find their music by themselves. Right. How does this pertain to pro wrestling? The moment that these wrestlers leave AEW, they're going to continue to make money that they were making in AEW. And call Vince McMahon a piece of shit all you want to, but he knows you can't do shit without that trademark that we created over here.
You know what makes that? I'm sorry, because I saw something today, literally, and I'm going to cut you off, and I'm so blind tag. I'm sorry. And I saw this video, and it spoke about what we already know, how the reason why The Rock doesn't go by The Rock no more, because he has to pay money back to Vince. Yeah. Cena can't even use his own name in movies without paying that stipend back to Vince McMahon. And I've noticed something that how the Bella twins spell their names differently, and she goes by Nicole. So they can use their own likenesses and get paid without being the Bella twins. Let's put that in perspective. Go ahead. What's your point?
My point is, Tony Khan is very annoying at this point, right? Because
I got big news for you.
But yeah, it's very clear. Like it's very clear that he's the little brother that's still trying to get the big brother's attention.
Don't all little brothers? I wouldn't know. I'm not a little brother.
He's such a fanboy. But if he would just worry about his brand and the diversity that they have, something different they can provide that's not WWE, we wouldn't think of him in a negative light. But it's like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And meanwhile,
don't look at me.
Meanwhile, the guys that you have signed are filing trademarks that have nothing to do with your company, but they're going to use it on your company's shows,
right? And
they're still going to get money off of that. Britt Baker just filed for DMD, in which she's really a DMD, but now she's going to get paid every time she says DMD. Jericho is using a moniker of your competition in Sports Entertainer, and he's now going to get paid off of Sports Entertainer. He goes back to WWE, he's going to use Sports Entertainer, and he's still going to get paid. So Tony Khan, he's dropping the ball. If this is true, in which I believe it is, so I'm going to say too sweet for that, because he's come off as a fanboy. He's given his his wrestlers whatever they want as far as trademarking, and I think that's a bad business move on his part.
I'm just going to be real and completely transparent. AEW, I don't give two licks about this. If this is what they're doing, and I think it is kind of calling the kettle black, or it is coffee black, whatever, when it comes to the portion that was said to us from Eric Bischoff, because and like Dennis comment in the comments, it takes one to know one in a sense. Like he did this. For what it's worth, Eric Bischoff ruined professional wrestling. Because he gave these contracts, and not only did he give the contracts of the guaranteed money, he gave them creative control.
Wasn't half of that Ted Turner's fault as well? He was showing.
No, I'm not knocking Ted Turner, because he just. But here's the thing: if I went to, I'm gonna use my man Wise Shabazz, when we call Wise, as my money man, right? If I use him as my money guy's my money guy. He don't know what I'm spending that money on. He already hired me to make a good investment. Ted Turner hired Eric Bischoff. He thought it was a good investment. Ted Turner wanted to be in the wrestling business. That we know, right? He wanted to be in the wrestling business, and he had a thing with Vince McMahon. So he kind of wanted to take over wrestling. He hires him, okay, Eric Bischoff, and then Eric Bischoff comes in here to how you take Vince McMahon's talent? You pay him more. Okay, that's a great start. What else can you do to make them stay? I want to make sure these guys stay because I'm going to give them creative control. Okay, I also think that's been the problem with AEW in the early portions. So I think Tony's trying to get that back in a sense, because remember the Young Bucks had control, Kenny Omega and them had control, Cody had control. You know what I mean? Jericho had control. He's kind of peeling it back a little bit, and so I'm not mad if he's doing that. And again, in a world that's progressive, in a world where Bill Murray's in trouble. I mean, damn, it's fucking Bill Murray. If Bill Murray can't smack you on the ass and get away with it, who else can? Sorry, Bill, you can't touch girls in the 21st century. It's against the law. Okay? Go watch Winning Time from last night, the Lakers. Dr. Buss up here molesting his mother's doctor in the car. Just saying. So the point I'm making is, I think it's a good thing. So I'm a two-sweeted also. If it's true, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a great thing if it is true. I see you left Derek's comment up there, so go right ahead.
Derek, I agree with this 100%. No matter how much people will shit on McMahon or the product that he produces, you still want to be like him. Why? You have multiple big name pay-per-views throughout the year, dubbing it your big four. Mm-hmm. You then have a end of the year big extravaganza pay-per-view. Who came up with that? Vince McMahon. And it's synonymous with pop culture.
Right.
So I agree 100% with that statement.
What else we got for Too Sweet or Suck It this week?
Oh, Too Sweet.
Okay, listen, hold on. No, you're going to give her props today.
I already did.
That was the heart. That was the heart was for?
That was the heart. So you got to pay attention. I'll be paying attention.
No, I didn't. They didn't come on the screen. What's up, Charmaine? Go ahead. You always talk about she don't give you no props. She said hi to you. All right. You that means you make your strides. What's up?
The next thing is Finn Balor.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, yo. That's some bullshit. Y'all gonna leave my guy Prince DeVitt alone. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. So WWE fans are saying that this man was buried by theory, and they're saying that he's had a very underwhelming WWE career. Take a look at this.
You say
look at those WWE championships. Does that look underwhelming?
Let's see. Put that back up there, please. For those who can't see or read or know what they are, we got the NXT type champion, and I believe he was the first He was the first two-time NXT champion, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I know Vaughn, correct me if I'm in the back. Now, in that picture, you do see the IWGP in there. That's before WWE. You also see the trophy from the IWGP. That's also in there as well. But we're pointing out the WWE stuff. We have first ever Universal Champion. You have NXT Champion again, my belt that I have, my favorite NXT title. You have US title. You have Intercontinental Champion. I mean, this guy is pretty much on his way of being a what they call it, Dice? Grand Slam champion. So I mean, again, I don't do this every week for 14 years, 3 million episodes, BDSR Network now, and Unpopular Review Wrestling to say I got in this because I didn't like how wrestling fans forget how they are to be wrestling fans. I say this all the time, almost every week, and I'm never going to stop saying it. We are the biggest problem in professional wrestling. It's not Vince McMahon. I know you want to blame it on him. This is why y'all go love AEW so much without giving them any. They have no faults. And AEW has plenty of faults. Although it has a lot of good, there's a lot of faults. So maybe it has a lot of faults. Okay? No one's perfect. I've been married for 18 years. It's not perfect. It's a lot of fucking gray area. Matter of fact, a lot of fucking dark areas and that shit, okay? But you make it work and you push through it. That's what a wrestling fan does, in my opinion. And when you look at professional wrestling in the landscape today, and I look at Finn Balor, I do think at times they disrespect him. But Chris, the executive consultant, said something to me, or said something during a show we were doing once. And he said, if Vince didn't like him, he made him the first Universal Champion. That wasn't Triple H's doing. That was Vince's doing, right? Two things you cannot fault WWE for. That's Finn Balor getting hurt twice. Okay? So with that being said, we knew when we saw this as that was going to be a match. Shit, we all said it last week. You wasn't here, but you got into the chat later. We knew what was going to happen. We knew that Finn Balor was going to lose that fight because we see what they're doing we see what they're doing with Theory. When they take your name and give you one name like Sting, then that means they got some hope for you. At least that's their belief, whether fans gravitate or not. And I'm gonna go back to just a sidebar. I keep that for our weekend wrestling, but I don't think Finn's done. At least I hope he's not. But that's just me being a fan. So I'm gonna say I got two words for you, wrestling fans, when it comes to Finn Balor. Suck it. I don't think that he's been overlooked or anything like that. I just think when it comes to wrestling, it's timing, it's circumstance, right? Again, not saying that I had a full-blown conversation with Bayley at Mania, but I got a vibe from her when she said, I wish, right? So you could take that two ways. Does she wish she was back because she was healthy? Or they ain't got nothing for her right now? And I know that sounds crazy. We're talking about, hey, we want some Bayley. But where would she fit right now in the scheme? Not giving you can just plug her in anywhere because she's Bayley. But at the time of Mania, where would you have plugged her in? So I'll leave that to say that I believe this company has done good for all these years, despite all the bad they also have. But come on, wrestling fans, I'm going to suck that one, Dice.
Whoa.
No. You know what I meant.
You know you got to pause on
it. No broke back. No broke back.
I'm going to agree with you.
Hold on. Even Vaughn put in a private chat, all capital letters, pause. I made a mistake, okay? I know what I said. It didn't mean to come off that way. It just happened to roll off the tongue.
I'm not that one. You can. Right. All right. So the last one, I'm pretty sure this is not any surprise to anybody. If you're a wrestling fan, you've heard of this one, and hopefully we're going to get this pretty soon. The return of Asuka.
Who?
On the return of Becky coming back tonight. So
we know Becky coming back to advertise.
But the idea is that Asuka knows, so Asuka's coming to ambush and throw off her return to her return. So
that's what the dirt sheets are saying.
Yeah, I don't I don't know how to take
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. The dirt sheets are saying not only is she coming back, but the storyline, man, suck. I mean, I'm sorry, suck it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that was the storyline.
Okay.
I didn't say that was the storyline.
Okay.
In my mind, this is
okay. That's you. That's you booking. That's you booking. Okay.
We've seen this before, where somebody's coming to make a return, and then they get upstaged by somebody else making a bigger return.
Nothing wrong with that.
So
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. But so in my mind, as a intelligent wrestling fan that I am, I would absolutely book this to be that way, because let's not forget, Becky kind of relinquished to Asuka, and that was the last time they interacted.
Really?
That was the last time that they interacted.
Well, listen, first of all,
if I'm not mistaken,
if the Empress, well, Vanna tells in a second, if the Empress of Tomorrow comes back, I'm going to be shocked, because I told you I don't think I ever would see her again. I'm sorry, guys. I could never get over the TikTok, or the top tick, I like to call it, that I saw of Asuka, but she had like a pound of fucking weed sitting there. Now, I get that marijuana is no longer part of the damn wilderness program. Okay, so maybe that's why she's back. Okay, she was not going to pass a drug test. Okay, I saw the pictures on her top tick, and damn it, I want another shot. You up here taking shots. Okay, so that's, first of all, you taking nasty shots. That's like Peach Parmesan, because I know you like them fruity flavors.
It's pineapple.
I knew it was some fruit shit. And then in there, them fruits, them acidics. Did I say that word right? Them acidics be fucking with you, yo. That's why I can't drink Fireball. That cinnamon boy be getting you going. So to that. Okay, so the rumor is she's coming back. Is that what it is?
I don't know how to go on this one.
And I want Alexa Bliss back too, Charmaine, but she's on her wedding.
I don't know I don't know what I want on this one.
You said what up, Rock? That means you don't have your page set to public, because I didn't see Rock speak in here anywhere.
He did.
You said what's up, Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't make a comment. Okay, okay. You know, how the fuck you ahead of me?
I
work for the cable company. Damn, you ain't supposed to have fat look at me. Becky did relinquish to.
I want to believe it. I want to believe it. I want to be fickle for once. I want to be fickle. I want to say too sweet. I want to say too sweet. Throw it up for me. Throw it up.
I got you.
Yes, you Bayless.
Listen.
Is in 2 words or too sweet.
Hold on. I ain't gonna let you go off the hook like that. I ain't gonna let you go like the hook like that. I just can't. I can't, yo. I can't because. Okay, not that you got it. All right. And that's the purpose of Too Sweet and Suck It. It's the fake news versus the real news. I get that. Okay. Don't look at me like that. God damn it. Okay. Don't do that. I hate when you look at me like that. All right. Make me feel nervous and shit. And I asked for a shot. My wife ain't came here yet with my shot. So, and I know she's listening. So here's the thing about that though. Why do wrestling fans always have to ruin that? Like, that's my problem. Like, if she comes back tonight, now I fucking know. Like, is it so hard for some fans to not post something? Is your life so depressing that you have to post every single thing that happens in your life? If you notice, Dice, during the last few months, I've had 2-3 kids have a birthday. You ain't seen none of that shit on my social medias no more. It's nobody's business.
That's what I say. One day, I am a very personal person. I've learned to be personal.
Very personal person.
Personal. I've learned to be personal. Only reason why, because when this shit pops off and I get famous, I don't need nobody coming for my family.
Well,
don't come for my family.
Well, let me take that up a notch.
But,
you know what? Because I said it. Come at me now while I'm free.
One day this social media shit is gonna go away.
It's gonna go
away. Something's gonna fuck up. The servers might get on MySpace. We're gonna lose everything.
Then what you gonna do with your life? What you gonna do when you can't tell somebody if the flowers is gray? What you gonna do?
And for some people, their whole photo album is on Facebook. There's no backup.
First of all, fuck you.
There's no backup.
No.
Once it goes down, it's gone.
Second of all, fuck you. Okay, because
you're one of those people.
Some of the greatest pictures that I own are on social media, Facebook, and I don't even know they be there till the shit come up 12 years ago. I'll be like, oh shit, let me go ahead and save that picture right now because it's gone. Okay.
You can go in your settings and download all of your posts.
That's a lot of goddamn downloads, by the way. Okay, so I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole right now. And it's because they're bored. I get that, Rock. But being bored don't mean you got to spoil it. Like, that's my thing with wrestling fans. Like, again, you've all said it. I'm going to say it again. If today was yesteryear, the NWO would never been as big as they were because we didn't knew they were coming. We didn't knew that Hulk Hogan was coming as the third member. We didn't know who the big guy was. We didn't know that it wasn't. What made the NWO so great as wrestling fans, you had no fucking idea they were not with the company. Because the storyline let you think they were still with the company. Today, we would have knew all that, and we wouldn't have had it. And I just think that sucks. I just want wrestling fans to remember, like, if I told you the end of Doctor Strange 2, the multiverse, are you fucking still going? You probably still will, because it's going to be a great fucking movie, by the way. But you're going to be like, well, here it comes.
I'm not going to lie. Somebody told me the end of Sonic 2, and
you already ruined it on the show last week or 2 weeks ago.
I searched for it. So I no longer need to see Sonic 2.
Well, you will, because it's going to come on the Paramount. Okay. You're going to sit there. It's like Paramount. It's like the first one's on Paramount.
Yeah, the first one is. It's like the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
When I freaking turn my Vizio on.
So when my handsome nephew gets old enough, you make sure he remembers Uncle Mike told him it's on Peacock. And we got Peacock on Paramount. Sorry. See, I almost said my word. I want to say it. I gotta say it. I love that network, Dice. There's nothing wrong with turning on my TCL, Mr. Vizio. I had a Vizio before. Okay. Some bitch conked out on me. Okay. So my TCL comes on. I like to turn it to the cock. Okay. It's that simple. Okay. That's where my wrestling's at. My wrestling's on the cock. Okay. Moving on. The week in professional wrestling, that what it is. But listen, don't just hear our words. Come back tonight, y'all. I want you to watch Monday Night Raw tonight. Unpopular reviews, wrestling division. We're going to give you Monday Night Raw review and results. So, listen, can somebody tell the executive consultant, Mr. Chris Harris, he is not a model? What the fuck is this picture?
Boy, selling high dollar polos.
He is like, yo, swipe right and left. Right on that picture. And Steve just like, yo, look at this dude next to me. You're like, what the fuck? He's gonna do a wrestling show. All right. Shout out to the Raw crew tonight. Just gonna hold you guys down tonight. But let's get into, you said heel pose? Okay, heel pose, Vaughn put backstage. Let's get into the week that was professional wrestling, Dice. And we left off last week, okay, with going into Raw. And we talked about it earlier, Theory beating Finn Balor for the United States Championship, which again, we all kind of knew was coming. If you saw it, you knew it was happening. To me, the best part of this last week was something you never see in professional wrestling. If it has happened, sorry guys, I was sleeper high that day. Forgive me. Okay. When have you ever, not the last time, because I don't think I've ever seen it, ever seen a heel win and the fucking people come out?
And all the heels come out.
I loved it. Now, I get it. Now, granted, Vince McMahon made him go out there. You can see that he did that because he was out there too.
Damn it.
Right? But I love that about it. And I'm a Finn guy. And you know this, Dice. You know that. You know I'm a Finn Balor guy. I'm a Finn guy. I'm a Daniel Bryan. Those are the only two indie guys, and along with John Moxley. Okay? Those are my three guys that come from what you guys do. Well, they were in Ring of Honor. Oh, they were in AEW. They were in your mama's backyard bingo hall. They're the only three I cared about. Okay? Because I watched CZW. I was trying to be a part of CZW, but they dropped the ball and they couldn't afford me. Okay. So I've been following that long. But when I saw this happen, I just knew. We put that another suck it, Dice. I knew I had one. Can I pause it and go back? Can I pause it? Okay. There's a rumor, because this happened last week with Rhea Ripley beating the shit out of Liv Morgan joining Edge's group.
First of all, I put that as a topic for last week. You didn't even discuss it. I said, let's predict.
Well, first of all, no. Because my handsome ass nephew was involved. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna say this: fuck you, because you couldn't be here. So if I forgot something, it wasn't my fault. It was the nephew's fault.
It was on the rundown. But go ahead, Fantasy Warfare. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley being the next person to join Edge's team. Now, why would this be of any interest?
Why? Here's why. Here's why. I wouldn't technically put her there. That's just me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, this doesn't fit the mode of how she dresses and all that other good stuff. It's not that. I don't think the stable has. First of all, it's not even a stable yet. It's just Edge and Damian Priest.
It's another
right?
Seth Rollins and Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy type.
It hasn't done nothing with it yet. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So now we go back last week. They talked about how, which we all saw. What I thought I was literally watching the Lost Boys. So I'm a child of the 80s. All right. I've lived through the greatest television and pop culture ever from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I've lived it. You guys just read about it. Okay. So I thought I was watching Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland when Damian Priest went just 2 weeks ago. Then last week they go, he disappeared. How the fuck they didn't even turn the lights out? It was somebody disappeared in wrestling. You turned the lights out.
Commercial.
They went to a commercial and say he disappeared. What the fuck was that, Damian Priest? So until I see another male join this stable, okay, I don't want Rhea Ripley here because then what does that say? What does that even do? Okay, if Rhea Ripley joins tonight, I don't get how that cements anything. And then on top of that, going back to last week, Edge spoke about said stable, saying the seeds were planted years ago, which I told dumbasses. See, I don't like to be this cocky, but he does. All right, I'm lying. That's why we get along. Okay. I told you motherfuckers from WrestleMania that it was the Brood 2.0. And what the fuck did Ed say last week? The seeds were planted in the dark ministry in the Brood. Okay. So for all this dumb people out there or haters of WWE product that says, oh, he's ripping off the Dark Order.
Learn your history, you stupid son of a...
No, I want you to do the good one. You're supposed to, you stupid fuck. That's the one I wanted. You didn't give me that. So I'm disappointed. So in the words of the great Samuel L. Jackson,
get the fuck out my face with that shit.
And then we can move on. So I'm going to suck that. I mean, shit, not me. God damn it.
Listen.
I'm not good.
Boy, you just made 2 clips.
Yeah.
You just made 2 clips.
I got 2
That's
words.
going to be on the TikTok.
You make it because you're always trying to embarrass me anyway. I got 2 words for that's about Rhea Ripley joining Edge's thing. And I'm going to say suck it. I don't believe it and I don't want it. That's just me personally. Your take on
that? Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. She needs purpose, and her purpose is going to bury this thing with Liv, and then possibly reshift her focus back to the championship. And if she was going for the championship, I would then welcome it. But for right now, no, it doesn't appease me. But if I can get her on camera a little bit more, that'd be fine.
Okay, so back to Raw, and I stayed there with King Vaughn Jr. 720 in the Twitter's comments. And make sure you guys watch. I should get that picture up, and I apologize. If you're a fan of anime, okay, my beautiful children have their own show called Anime Is Us, okay, part of the UPRE entertainment brand. Make sure you check that out. And he brought this up because they will be reviewing Attack on Titans in the next few weeks. They're going to finish up the My Hero Academia portion, and they're going to do Attack on Titans next. I don't know if he looks like a character off Attack on Titans because I've never seen Attack on Titans, so I don't think Dice watches anime either, but Austin Theory to
Dragon Ball Z, I don't give a damn.
That's listen, or Dragon Ball Z and Avatar. The only shit I recognize. Okay. But wrestling fans are kryptonite to wrestling, and I agree with that as well. I think Austin Theory, from how they're, and this is strictly off of how they're building him, okay, guys? I think Austin Theory might be the future of this company. I mean, who thought John Cena was going to be John Cena? When you first ruthless aggression, no one believed that shit.
This motherfucker be gone in 2 months.
Yeah. Stupid haircut, stupid clothes he had on. You know what I mean? So when I look at Austin Theory, my only thing about this guy is he says A-Town down. And I don't think we talked about that last week. Should no white guy be saying that. I don't care if he's from Atlanta or not. It just don't sound right. Okay? He should be saying A-Town up, in my opinion. Okay? Because where I know in Atlanta, which I ain't never been, by the way, but the people I know in Atlanta, I don't think he'd be allowed to go into the club.
Okay.
Well, you shouldn't do that. That's not fair. Okay, so
they say they like down there.
So Raw last week, I actually thought was pretty decent. Okay, I actually did. I was about to have to do it. Was that the week before? Anyway, I thought Raw was pretty good last week. Dice, your thoughts?
It was decent. I'm not gonna, but again, we're post WrestleMania, kind of getting the ball re-rolling. It's fine. The pace of Raw has been fine for the past couple of weeks. we're getting a lot of entertainment more than wrestling, and that's, again, it's fine. It's a 3-hour show. You got to find balance somewhere. You can't give me 2 hours of
the Sixers play 8 o'clock tonight, bro. You know what I'm be doing? Watching 2 different TV shows.
I mean, it was fine for what it was. Pretty much did. I'm more interested in seeing what Bobby Lashley does.
Yep.
I want to see how they make this progress, and I'm interested to see what they can do to enhance Omos more than anything, because now I've been more interested in Omos than I have since he's been broken up with AJ. So I think this is that, and the Edge and AJ thing are pretty much the go-to storylines that I'm interested in.
If tonight can be better, right? Because you get the return of shit,
Asuka.
No,
and Becky
Lynch. Thank you.
And the other rumor is Ali's coming.
Okay,
okay. Maybe they'll put him in the fucking talent agency.
If I didn't have on my short shorts, okay, I would get up and do your walk off right now when it comes to Mustafa Ali.
Maybe they'll put him in LA Knight's model agency.
Why are you gonna do that, yo? Because that's just ruin LA Knight. Like, I don't even like LA Knight necessarily, right? But as I starting to say, because when you go to NXT, you go to Mimi. I go, who's a star, who's not a star. That's why I kind of like the new tagline about NXT, the closest thing you get. LA Knight can be on a main roster because he has to look and he can talk and he can wrestle. But to put him as a manager, like, I kind of get Drew Gulak in a sense. Mustafa Ali is the same to me. Mustafa Ali ain't pushing no needle, and he never was pushing a needle. And this whole shit about him being champion back when Kofi was going to become champion, I always call bullshit on that. I always call bullshit on that. And listen, Austin Theory, Cena just on Halloween didn't change me at all. At that point, I was already fucking with Cena before he did the rap shit. That's just me. That's why I love the comment up. But I'm interested in more tonight's Raw than I was last week. But I didn't think last week's Raw was bad, Dice. I just really didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't bad. I give it a C+.
Okay. So
if you can keep me average to where I can pay attention occasionally while I'm playing Xbox, then cool. Sometimes it gets so boring I forget that wrestling's even on.
I'm gonna take a commercial break because you have completely lost all your HDness. Okay,
you lost it. I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you the same way.
Well,
I take a picture. Goddamn it!
It's you because it's
you. It's you. It ain't me. It's you. We be right back,
Mad Dog.
That's true. Anything can happen in World Wrestling Entertainment. What's the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, though?
Well, the next thing that happened was Tommaso Ciampa was backstage getting ready for his tag match against the Dirty Dogs, and who we get is the return of the one and only Prince Finn Balor. And when I saw that happen, because I heard tag team, I'm like, okay, who are they gonna put Ciampa in a tag team with on Raw? And when I saw Ciampa, I won't lie, I did scream and jump for joy a little bit because I am a big Finn Balor fan.
I think he's definitely transitioned to Raw. There's not much more he can do in NXT, and I don't think he really fits now. So he needs to transition to Raw. This is a good way to do it with Finn Balor, with Dolph Ziggler, who seems to be the transition monkey for people who come from NXT. So I'm here for it. I still think that Tommaso Ciampa can't really do much on the main roster, but so far.
My man George Lewis chiming in. I'm willing to bet that Sonya Deville is going to put a stipulation in the Raw Championship match against Bianca Belair. Well, I think she's going to lose all that power before she gets a chance to. And I like that her fine was $1. I like that they're taking that. That shows that they're making a transition from her being an authority to being a wrestler again. Okay, I like that. Shout out to King Von Jr. backstage privately puts Kevin Garnett has a better chance to come back to the T-Wolves before Mustafa Ali comes back. I won't say that much there, Micah, because he's under contract. My thing, I'm not doubting if he comes back.
They're going to give him Luke Harper treatment.
I just don't care if he comes back. He's not somebody that's outside of NXT to me. I'm being honest. That's going to push anything. And I think when I say that, people get mad. Like, the biggest disconnect between WWE wrestling fans, right, or WWE supporters of their style of wrestling, we have been pre-positioned to condition, if you will, to like a certain something. When I look at AEW, I love it. It's like I'm watching NWA from 1987, right? I have nothing wrong with that. You know why WrestleMania was bigger than Starrcade? Because it had stars. Because it had entertainers. Starrcade was huge. Starrcade was monumentally big for the NWA. But nothing's bigger than WrestleMania. Ali doesn't scream star to me. He screams Starrcade to me. That's it. He can go. He can wrestle. He's okay on the microphone. But is he a star? Is he someone my kid's going to want a t-shirt of? Is he somebody you can put on Be a Star program? Is he somebody you're going to put in a movie? Is he somebody who's going to go to Jimmy Fallon Live? I don't think so. That's just me. Dice, your take on Mustafa Ali.
What's the next subject, please?
Okay, next. So continue the week in wrestling. We did get a beautiful AEW Dynamite last week. But here's the thing I'm a rip right now. Okay? So give me a second, Dice. Can you indulge me as I take them back around the blocks with Mike Knoxxx? If one more wrestling fan tell me that, I love me some New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's a big-ass announcement, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. What'd you do, Dice? You came back on the screen.
Yeah, I was blanking.
Okay. Okay. Around the blocks with Mike Knoxxx. Okay. What the hell? That was his big announcement, guys. That we're gonna have Jay White come out. I love Jay White. I do. But you're gonna stop telling me you got a big announcement every single week.
He was already there. He was already fucking there. Let's stop acting like New Japan and AEW didn't already have a partnership. Stop it. You shooting blanks right now. I'm so sorry. Nothing come out.
I said sorry.
Nothing come out.
This
is dumb. It's dumb. And all you New Japan Pro Wrestling AEW dick-sucking marks, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. There was absolutely nothing exciting about this at all. What is it? How many of wrestling fans, I'm going to say about 70% are paying attention to what's in the States.
No, that's you're being generous.
Probably.
Okay. Because that's
so let's
a little
go
generous.
80%. 80% of fans pay attention to what's in the States. Nobody's waking up 2-3 o'clock in the morning to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I did it one time to watch Jericho and Wrestle Kingdom. I'll never do it again.
The one from like 2 years ago, right?
Painmaker, Alpha Club.
Yeah.
So this does nothing. Jay White does nothing for me. I don't give a hot shit. Not Jericho. CM Punk versus whoever the fuck the dude was does nothing for me. I've watched him a couple of times.
Let me get the damn picture up. You just kept
you messing up my rant right now. Bring him up so I can flame his goofy ass. Bring him up so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Well, I was getting to it and you spoke about it. That's all I was saying. Give me a chance to put the picture up. Okay, and this horrible coffin match last week. Okay, and you're terrible. And you're a big fan of Darby Allin. That was horrible. Hook looks like I'm gonna say this every single week. I shit bigger stool samples than Hook. Okay,
he looks like somebody that should have been in fucking with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. He likes
Justin Rhodes and CM Punk starting to show off. Okay, I get it. Every week they touch over something fire. See, that's what I don't get. They will say to us, I keep saying that because I'm on both sides here. I'm a wrestling fan. You're a wrestling fan, right? But you cannot sit here and tell me that you're going to bitch about Goldberg still, but you don't complain about Dustin Rhodes? Now, I'm a son of a plumber's best friend, but damn it, Dustin Rhodes old as shit. And Dustin Rhodes ain't ever been known as the guy. I watched NWA. He was the U.S. It wasn't even a U.S. champion. It was like their secondary U.S. title belt that he had. Okay, over there, because NWA they had a heavyweight title. They had so many titles in NWA. All right, so he was like the USA team fucking champion or some shit. Okay, but I get good wrestling, guys. You can't act like I don't get good wrestling every week from WWE products. You just can't act like that. And when you continue to act like that, it's sad. And I'm watching this last week. I'm expecting something big. I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna say like the return of like, do they got Mr. Rotunda? Do they got Mr. I want 7 figures? Nope. They give me New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like,
Ruben, can you give me 3 reasons why you're excited about this? Because I see nothing exciting about this. There is no Kenny Omega right now. He's working on the new AEW video game, which is called AEW Fight Forever. Corny. Give me 3 reasons.
That's actually the name of the video game? AEW Fight Forever?
Yeah.
Okay. And Vaughn,
I don't know when it started.
I thought your comment was kind of a little rude there. I do think Starrcade was bigger than SummerSlam. That's just me. I lived those worlds. Starrcade's bigger than SummerSlam. It's not bigger than WrestleMania, but it's bigger than SummerSlam. That's just my opinion, though. Tony Khan's announcement that AEW is going to do a storyline with New Japan Wrestling. What the fuck? George,
you just let the story. You just let the storyline happen as though it's an invasion. That's what you should have did, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. Everybody's just saying, hey, looking at you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing.
I know what they're doing. Because they don't understand that we are some.
Being good, I'm a bad bitch.
Okay. What I would have been bigger announcement is that Impact Wrestling or all 3 companies. But see, here's the thing. But they already have a partnership with Impact Wrestling. They had a partnership with Impact Wrestling.
They ended
that partnership because guess who got fucked in the deal with no Vaseline? Impact Wrestling. Okay. Yep. Now, and to Ruben's point, I'm not just me. I can only speak for me and the opinions that Michael Knoxxx says on this program alone. So Michael Knoxxx and Michael Knoxxx only does not represent unpopular view and also everybody on Perfect Plex Talk Radio. I think Kenny Omega is completely overrated. I think I would take Seth Rollins over Kenny Omega any day. And I think when I look at Kenny Omega, all I see is Seth Rollins in the ring and everything else. Now he's very creative with his ring entrances and things like that. But you can't tell me that the drip god isn't. That's just my opinion. I know everybody's really high on Kenny Omega. I am. That's the one guy. It's like watching Marvel's Moon Knight. I'm not a fan. I try. I sit here every week, Dice, just like this. Have you once heard me say any time at all how good that show was?
No.
And I promote a lot of fucking TV. I'm like, yo, you're not watching this? You're not watching that? Like, so that's Kenny Omega to me. He doesn't do nothing for me. Dustin Rhodes needs to retire and return to WWE. I agree. 100% agree. They need to go back to WWE. Okay? Hook. Dustin. I'm sorry, did he go to sleep on Hook? Or is that a sad sleep? Okay. Emojis, I'm still with I'm not all that keen on my emoji game, but I think that's a sleeping.
He's definitely sleep.
That's a sad sleep, right? That's how boring he is, right? And I don't think Hook's boring. I just don't think he's believable. That's my problem with Hook.
His dad was small, stocky, and you could fuck you up. I don't get that when I look at Hook at all.
I don't see Daddy at all.
At all.
Okay. Impact Wrestling is doing their storyline with Ring of Honor. Is that true or not? I don't know, George, because as you know, I subscribe to hashtag Duff the Dirt Sheets. Right? If they are, I'm still here for it. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like this man Dice will watch we're playing the game. I hear boom. What the fuck are you watching? Impact. Oh, what? Glitch. They got your own Twitch channel? I'm like, what Twitch channel are you watching? I'm like, so I hope it actually does pan out to be good. And I hope that does work, George. I hope they do have a partnership with them. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, what are these companies doing? Right? Right now, we need to be worried about what the fuck's going to happen to Black Monday in a few weeks. Like right now, SmackDown will be taped. It was taped already. Not will be taped. I apologize. It was taped. Do not inbox or drop comment below and let us know any of the bullshit that happened. We don't want to have no spoiler alerts on that one, okay? All right? But what you can do on the YouTube right now, you can smash that like button. Please don't watch it on YouTube and don't hit the like button as DJ left the screen. He must be trying to hit a cigarette, y'all. Oh, I told on him. DJ's a smoker.
Anyway,
it's been smoked the whole screen anyway.
Be cool, man. Be cool.
Okay.
Be cool.
All right.
No, yeah. Hey, listen. Everybody who's watching, wherever you're watching, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Wherever you're doing. Just we're not asking you to buy a platter. I'm not asking you to subscribe to a subscription, although you can catch us every Monday at 6 p.m.
Hold on.
We're not asking for anything monetary.
We have a Patreon, though. We're not even asking for that. But we have one.
I have a Cash App. You can drop that. You can send me some stars.
Real
you
Mike
can send
Knoxxx.
me some stars.
They're like,
but
you know what? I ain't gonna front,
appreciate.
I get mad you having more stars than me. I'm gonna let it out right here and right now. I get mad as fuck. All right, because I'm an admin on your page. Okay, and I be looking at numbers. I'm looking at numbers, dog. I be like, man, I beat him in this day. I beat him in that day. But I be like, ding, 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 ding. They like you more than me. Fuck y'all. Okay, not you. Just fuck them. All right.
But we appreciate the support nonetheless. So you can easily go to Perfect Plex Talk Radio. Hit that like button.
Boom.
You can go to Z is Solid
on the Facebook.
Hit that like button.
Boom. Hold on, don't forget me.
You can go
Mike
to YouTube.
Knoxxx Gaming. Boom. You go to Unpopular Review. Boom. Shit. You go to
all
Twitter.
This is the same on the TikTok as well.
Boom. No, it ain't called TikTok. I told you I changed the name.
Oh shit.
Oh no, you said TikTok. I said it the right way.
AEW New Japan matches on a Sunday is getting to know new wrestlers. All right, so this is the problem, Ruben. With all due respect, I've tried to do this. What the exact reason that you're saying is one of your three reasons, and that's trying to be invested in a new wrestler. How can you be invested if you don't even know the storyline? Because you can't understand the fucking language.
God, I swear.
That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a reason why there's a Spanish commentary table. There's a Latin commentary table.
Tim, I missed the Spanish table.
There's a reason why. That shit. But I can't get that. I can depict what I think the storyline is in the ring. But then when I see a bunch of goofy shit, when they had Prince Puma versus some other dude, they're just doing Power Ranger flips back and forth, and the whole crowd is like, oh, yeah. Why the fuck is that entertaining? What part of the story is this? What is that? No, it's too much shit. But y'all will sit there and bullshit talk about WWE and all of their production and say, well, that's not believable. What do you think, that I'm going to let somebody do a fucking moonwalk and a DDT in New Japan Pro Wrestling? But that's entertaining though, right?
Yo, shout out to Vaughn, for always tweeting out my fucking worst takes. I don't care. I said that Kenny Omega's overrated. He put the backstage. I'm going to tweet that. Tweet the shit. He can come at me. He don't want none of this. Okay. He don't want none. Moving on to Weekend Wrestling. So SmackDown. Okay. Rated Arcade Bros showed up. Okay. Fucking my Usos. Okay. The Tribal Chief is really mad at this point. Charlotte Flair, the greatest women's wrestler! Get my pressure points. Of all time! Y'all hear my kids? They even know this. It's part of their Anime As Us show. Okay? Looking just scrumptious in her little green olive little fucking leather suit the fuck she had on. I don't know the fuck that was. It was like olive color green shit. Okay? I didn't think SmackDown was bad. It's not to my man Sami fucking Zayn, who can't do nothing wrong. Even in a fucking lumberjack match, this man happens to run away from the lumberjacks. So moving forward on SmackDown coming up this week, which was taped. So some of you already probably know the results. I refuse to look at the results. There's supposed to be a steel cage match coming up next week. Overall, though, in the Weekend Wrestling Dice, again, it takes a lot to say it's not good to me, right? When it comes to the Weeks in Wrestling. That's just me. I just don't understand, what do you want sometimes from wrestling? Just people in general. Like, okay. You're still going to tune in every fucking week. All right. And we're not talking about NXT, because if you want to watch NXT and know an NXT results show, please, every Tuesday after NXT, check out my second favorite couple. Okay. My second favorite duo, Mr. Bad Guy Jack and Captain Shakespeare.
Hey, Captain Shakespeare.
Okay. And then if you're an AEW fan, we got you covered there too. Okay. And shit, if you watch SmackDown and that goes off, tune in to find out who's going to help the wrestling doll, be her co-host this week. Because it's like a rotating door. Because she's just holding the fucking fort down for us right now on a Friday night. Okay. So with that being said, Dice, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back with This Week in Wrestling, and we're going to get to our big topic of the day. That is Randy Keith Orton's 20 years and the top 7 wrestlers of the modern day era. We'll be right back. King Vaughn, get your ass ready.
Yo.
Whoops, wrong person. I can give you 5 other ones in that ilk.
Are you disrespect the NWO like that?
Hold on, what did he say? Even when it comes to factions, the NWO and the 4 Horsemen have been surpassed. I don't disagree. I've said that. I told you I thought that this fucking Shield was. Listen, he walks away from the bit. I'm not saying they're loved more, okay? Because they're not. They're not. If there was no Horsemen, there would be none of these other factions that have existed and had the longevity these guys have had. And I'm still taking nothing from the 4 Horsemen. They're definitely the Mount.
Yo, it's grind time. EST. Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. It's the honky tonk man. NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? UPR and Around the Blocks give to you This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn.
All right, everyone. Of course, once again, my name is King Vaughn Jr., host of the Victorious Ones podcast, also social media producer for Unpopular Review, Perfect Plex Talk Radio. So I'm here to give you the week in wrestling history. So of course, at least this day in wrestling history, on April 25th, 1980, Harley Race defeated Ric Flair to retain his NWA championship. Ric Flair won the title a year later. Of course, also in 1983, Jimmy Snuka defeated superstar Billy Graham. In 1992, Snuka became the first ECW champion. He became the very first ECW champion in history. Backlash 1999, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock to retain the title. And of course, on this day, 20 years ago, was the debut of the legendary, iconic Randall Keith Orton. Made his debut, and wrestling has been great ever since. And also, when it comes to birthdays, I want to give a happy belated 45th birthday to John Cena. So, of course, you got to follow me on Twitter at 301 King Von Jr. and on Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. And that is your week in wrestling history.
Yo, it's crime time. EST. Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. It's the honky tonk man. NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? UPR and Around the Blocks give to you This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn.
I'm sorry, George. You know you are like the most loyal fan, you and Charmaine, to Unpopular Review. And I love me some Ronda Rousey. But is she really the baddest woman on the planet anymore? When have you seen the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey? Like, even Mike Tyson beating that man's ass in the plane still shows that he's motherfucking Iron Mike. Okay? I ain't feeling Ronda lately. That's all I'm saying. And the end of what sucked there, Ruben? SmackDown? I thought them in SmackDown was good. It went off with him running into the crowd. I loved it. That's just me. But I'm gonna say his name, Mark. So, I'm not one here for that. But we're gonna talk.
I'm coming around to it. I don't like Sammy too much, but I'm definitely coming around to it a little bit more. I'm enjoying it a lot, but to see that be the main storyline to close out the night, I thought it was a little underwhelming. But again, it wasn't.
I'd have walked away.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but your tribal chief should always be closing the show.
I agree with that because you mentioned my tribal chief. But damn it, I'm a Slammy Award-winning 2-time goddamn belt king, and I tell you the ending was great. I want to put my trophy up in my hand. That's all. All right, so we're gonna talk about. We're gonna end with Randy. We're gonna end with Randy. All right, so we're gonna talk about the top 7 wrestlers of the modern day era. People now remember that ain't Dusty, one of my favorites of all time. That's not Hulk Hogan. If y'all know how to spell that, that's HULKKK Hogan. Okay, so that means 2000 to now. Now, unfortunately, people, that eliminates a lot of fucking people. Okay, it eliminates a lot of people. So, for the first time ever in this show's history, or actually, Dice and I actually working together's history, I don't even have my own list. He actually came up with it, and I said, "Let me guess." And he was like, "Okay." It was, to me, it was so easy to name these guys. So hopefully you guys are, because this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan, where barbershop talk meets radio. So if you don't know, now you know.
Hold on here. Is it the barbershop? Is this a barbershop? It's a barbershop. I mean, we can't talk street in the barbershop. Then where can we talk street? We can't talk street nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That's all right. You got to tell who's the pop down. It ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
And today we're going to look about the top 7 wrestlers of the modern day era. Dice, take it away.
Real quick, before we get into this list, those that are watching, real quick, just put any superstar name in there in the last 22 years. Just put it in there. See if you match up with ours. I'm going to give you a quick couple of seconds just to do it. But the criteria that we had for this, longevity is the key word. Longevity is the key word in this. And then impact and feuds. I think those are the 3 main. This is not a merchandise thing. This is not how much you're in Hollywood. This is not how much you're on Jimmy Fallon. This is
you saying the Miz can't be on there? Are you saying the Miz is not bigger than AEW? Because that's bullshit. The Miz is bigger than AEW.
All right. So first up. I'm just gonna go through. I'm just gonna go through.
Have a top 7 without me. We didn't actually be on this show this week.
Before he even starts.
Wait, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Before he even starts, because I know how this is about to get. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick flash of the pictures that we have for the most notable names.
Look at Vaughn, who doesn't know what we do.
We will literally go through and weed them out. We will weed them out and we will get to 7. So here we go. We have the rated R superstar, Edge. We have I am the best in the world at what I do. And Chris Jericho. We have I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. We have beat up John Cena. Repeat.
Beat up John Cena.
We have the Undertaker, the Dead Man, the Last Outrider.
Hold on, how my eyes going?
You ain't got him yet.
Shit. Okay.
We have the man who occupied Raw and took over the WrestleMania main event.
The only person in AEW that's bigger than that's bigger than The Miz.
We have the main topic of the show in which we are celebrating, will pay homage to in a few. We have the cerebral assassin, the king of kings. We have
it's my guy.
Look in my eyes. What do
pictures.
you see?
You switched pictures. You switched pictures.
You
I know what you did.
Damn.
No, I didn't.
There we go. We have arguably the greatest guy in professional wrestling around that ring.
Why you picked that belt? You got everybody else in the other belt, and you picked the TNA title.
Because this was his greatest run.
Bullshit.
We have arguably next to Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena. This guy is one of the most notable names in professional wrestling, who is actually Hollywood's most paid actor.
Yeah. And he is he's been the highest paid actor in Hollywood like the last 5 years.
Yeah. And then
they took the belt from your boy. Look at the side plates. There's AJ Styles side plates. And we didn't actually get consulted to be here. We don't have time for 18 damn not honorable mentions. So until I see your face pop up, your ass gonna stay backstage. Go ahead, Dice. Oh shit, he put his face up and then he gave me a finger. Okay. So go ahead, Dice. Listen, I have no problem with this order, except for I will say this. Who's not on the list?
Hold on. Hold on. I forgot.
Okay,
I forgot.
You know I'm gonna come for you.
I know. And I think I'm cute.
Hey,
I know I'm sexy.
Let me take my shirt off again.
I got the looks.
Hey, that drives my wife. Wow, I got the moves. Hey, that really move them. I need a shot to take down my spine. I'm just a sexy Kurt. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, the music stopped.
Okay, so
tell me when the music stopped.
Those are 14. Those are 14 of the greatest wrestlers, not just of all time,
but
of the modern day era. So now we have to trim this thing. Let's trim the fat, because not a lot of people like the fat, especially if it ain't seasoned enough. Vaughn, you are out of your freaking mind. He spent 10 years in TNA. He spent like 5 in WWE. Come on now.
But I agree with you, Vaughn. And I'm going to be honest with you. I do agree with Vaughn because the bigger matches that he had were in WWF. I'm going to tell you why before you even walk off. His match with Shawn Michaels and his match with Brock Lesnar are bigger than anything he did in TNA.
Let's pump the brakes on the Brock Lesnar. Come on, let's pump the brakes on it.
I don't have to pump them, but they're going.
Let's pump the brakes on it.
Well, I need some.
But anyway,
can I get some brake fluid?
But anyway, EC, are you ready? Are you ready?
I said, are you ready? I just want to do it again.
He's eating.
He's back there eating. Huh? We can't even hear you. You're fucking muted. You're fucking muted.
I know you say you didn't have time for 18, but my gosh, where's Roman Reigns? Where is your tribal chief?
Well, first of all, he fucked up because he's supposed to be there.
Okay.
He fucked up.
I did.
There.
I'm not a fan of CM Punk, but where's CM Punk?
CM Punk's there. We did CM Punk.
Yes, okay.
But he forgot Roman, to be fair. Because Roman.
I got Roman on here. I thought I uploaded the picture.
You put the picture up there.
It's coming right now. It's coming. He's got a whole plate. I heard some.
I heard a plate too. He just left. He just left the damn. Look at that back.
Right here.
God damn! I want that.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. Hold on. I think I got a soundtrack of that. No, I just got.
So that's now 15. That's 15 of the greatest. Now, again, the criteria is longevity, feuds, impact on the business.
All right.
So I'm going to go number seven. My number 7. I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
I'm not going to argue that.
The reason why, he's been sought after for fans to jump ship to WWE for 15 years. He carried that company when other people jumped. Remember, Robert Roode jumped before he did. Samoa Joe jumped before he did. Matt Morgan did, but Matt Morgan came back.
Do you remember those conversations we used to have about AJ Styles before coming?
I remember a lot of them. I was trying to tell you for years that AJ Styles was the best in the world. That was not in,
until I seen AJ Styles in WWE. I didn't. My thing was that I didn't think he couldn't wrestle, right? Because you know how I was saying about. Yeah, it wasn't about wrestling to me. Everybody, they all can wrestle. You have better, of course, some are better than others. It's the entertainment value. I didn't think that guy could be entertaining. You're okay, because even a little Nate stuff was just okay. But when he came in to WWE and the whole beat up John Cena and everything he's done since then, to me, it's just he's entertaining. He can work that company. I agree with you with your number 7. Again, this is a perfect Plex list. Mike Knoxxx ain't debating this motherfucker. Okay, so but no, you're not gonna put honorable mentions up first. You're gonna go straight to 7, 9, into 6 now.
Honorable mentions. Yes. Okay, let's go for an honorable mention.
Because you got 14 people up this bitch. 15.
I have 14 people. We have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
3.
Hold on.
That makes it a 10 list. That
Well,
makes it a 10
7.
list.
We said 7.
There's 7. There's 3 honorable mentions. That makes it 10, 10 people total.
That means 4 people ain't even make a fucking honorable mention.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So an honorable mention, and I hate for it to be on there. But
go ahead. I know one of them.
I think it's warranted.
I agree. Go ahead.
I think it's
maybe
warranted.
I don't know what the fuck you gonna say.
Yes.
I was hoping people gonna come at us for this.
Listen, I had Batista highlighted, and then I moved up to CM Punk, and you put that there. You made a decision for me, so now I have to wait. Now, don't chew my head off when I tell you that I'm putting Taker in this honorable mention, right?
Vaughn,
Taker,
and Mike Grandbody Pete finna come for your neck.
To me,
is silence.
In my personal opinion, right? Some of Taker's most memorable moments happened in the Attitude Era.
I like that, George. We forgot about the women.
That is very good. Maybe next week we'll do a women's.
Well, this is the top men's then. How about that? It's a men's list.
So for me, some of the most memorable moments come from the Attitude Era. There's the Ministry of Darkness. Mm-hmm. There's the corporate ministry. There's the feud with Kahn. There's the Hell in a Cell. There's the Boiler Room brawls with Mankind. I just think those 5 alone can really surpass most of the criteria that we're talking about. Because for the late half of, I'm gonna say 2010s, Taker was just a coaster, in my opinion. He could give you a nice, entertaining feud, but it wasn't like a mind-blowing top feud that you had to see outside of Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
I would say even,
but those were I took those as right off in the sunset type things that you just had to. It's like a match that you have to see, like Triple H versus Sting. We didn't have to see it, but you needed to see WCW represented versus WWE.
It had to be. It shouldn't have been Triple H. But let me add on to what you're saying there, partner, if you don't mind. It's not that we don't respect Taker. It's one of the criteria is consistency. Taker went 7-8 manias. Executive consultants here, you can help me out. And I know Vaughn's backstage.
I'm sorry, you want to know Taker went what?
Where there was no storyline until Mania for Taker. Like he took years.
It started happening in 2011.
Right. So he took what?
Where people just randomly called him out because they didn't have anything to do.
It was just one match a year. So
almost. In 2012, he had one match, and then he returned in 2013. He had a couple matches then, and then he came back in 2014. He was gone until 2015. We came back in 2015. He had a few matches, including a Hell in a Cell match with Brock Lesnar. Then he came back in 2016, had a match with Shane. Had
the Crown
Jewel appearances. No, that was in 2018. I was getting anyway. I don't want to take him up for time. I'll be right back.
With that being said, but no, but that's why I think we put him where we put him at as an honorable mention. For me, it's just he wasn't there enough longevity wise. Go ahead, continue on.
Okay,
other honorable mention. You said you already said him already. You kind of already gave it away. So
another honorable mention, and we're probably going to go at it. Yes, I was going to say Batista, but he was away for 5 years. And
that's why
in between those 5 years, would we have needed a Batista? Would we have needed he ran SmackDown for a good part of 5 years with John Cena on the other side.
So y'all gonna stop disrespecting. Y'all gonna stop fucking disrespecting. I'm in your shit right now, Dice. Motherfucking Deacon fucking Devon. Okay? Minister, because Devon brought in Deacon Batista. We wouldn't have Batista without Brother Devon. Testify. I know
it sucks. It sucks.
I loved him as Deacon Batista. He had a whole collection plate. I thought that was the trash.
It sucks that he's mentioned in this light, but to be away in a time where he really could have propelled even more. Like, could you imagine a Batista versus CM Punk?
No, I couldn't.
All right, so
because I saw CM Punk take on Ryback.
Yes, okay, that's what I'm saying. So remember earlier in the show when I said there was a time period of wrestling where it was really murky to me, and I don't remember watching SmackDown for a better part of 2009 to like 12 or 13. Mm-hmm. Batista's been a staple on SmackDown. He's probably top 4, 5 greatest SmackDown superstar ever.
Easy, top 3, 4. Yeah,
so
I would say that.
Arguably.
So that's why I kind of weed him out in there in that retrospect.
Your last honorable mention, will it be who I think it is?
That is it. That is it. And I know, don't come for me unless I send for you, but please come for me. Let me know why I am wrong on this one, because I hurt with making him a part of this honorable mention list.
I kind of made you do that before we started. Before we started, I said, where's Shawn Michaels? And again, not to sound strange or weird or anything like that, I literally have HBK tattooed on my arm. Okay? Like it's on my arm. Not the male necessarily, but I took the gimmick upon myself on. And as a Shawn Michaels super fan, I will say his second half of his career was better than the first half of his career. However, he was not the character that he was in the first half of his career. The character of the HBK, the mirrors, the whole stuff with Sensational Sherry was way better. He came back. The whole second half of Shawn Michaels' career was built off of him coming back. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't built off of him being the Heartbreak Kid. You know what I mean? Hence why it really went to Shawn Michaels more than HBK. And I'm an HBK mark, like fucking super mark. But he's an honorable mention. He's not a top 7, but that's our 3 honorable mentions. So get to the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm gonna play some motherfucking Method Man.
All right, so now for me, I'm just going to click and flick them on.
Yes, Vaughn.
We will try to rank them.
You're gonna stop yelling at me backstage, Vaughn. That's first and foremost.
We will try to rank them as we talk about them and weed them out. Right?
No, try. We ranked them already.
This is where I go because I can't remember my ranking now, and I wrote it down.
I'm the one drinking and been drinking all day, and you don't remember?
Okay, I already put AJ at 7.
We put AJ at 7. Uh-huh. We're gonna put fuck you. Thought you was gonna forget that one. Yeah,
sorry,
he was number 6.
5. And I don't want him here. I don't want him here.
Did you not hear the fucking pop on a Friday night when he came back?
That's the only reason why I put him here. That's the only reason why I put him there.
Shit. Besides the fact,
the only reason why I put him there.
Look, he got no clothes. What the fuck? Put the pants on.
It's the only reason why I put him there.
Okay.
Number 4.
Which I personally, if there was any disagreement with you, I might have him higher than 4. I really would, because I think Daniel Bryan, in the words of the executive consultant, I would think arguably is just as big as John Cena or anybody else who's been in wrestling in the past 20 years. What he did for the Yes Movement, what he did when high schools, Catholic school, colleges, professional teams are all doing fucking Yes chants. And again, I say this every time I do anything that comes to Daniel Bryan, I'm always going to mention this. WrestleMania 28. The Yes chant was born that weekend. It wasn't born because of Daniel Bryan. We just was fucking bored. Going when you're in South Beach with women dancing scantily clad on your nutsack and you're screaming yes, 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 you can't get more over than that. So for me, I would probably have a little bit higher than 4, but I have no problem with it being in that order of 4. But go right ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to take your shine, but that's my guy. 4. And he's bigger, other than The Miz, Sting, and Chris Jericho. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. I said I'm done. You don't know
number 3.
I'm about to say that's what it was, y'all. I know his look. He didn't know who the fuck he had at 3. Kurt,
I had to make it make sense.
Okay.
Now
I'm not putting Kurt Angle, and that's where I would put I would put him 4, and I would put Daniel Bryan 3 if I had,
And I would say, I mean, when Angle suddenly, let's not forget, he was a draft pick for ECW. He made that reincarnation of ECW kind of watchable and a little bit more enjoyable for me. And then he disappears and he pops up in TNA. He then goes on a 10-year run in TNA, putting on some of the best matches that people have seen and not known about because they were not WWE.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, boss. I apologize. Vaughn, fuck PW Wrestling Matches of the Year. They don't always get them right. I'm not saying he shouldn't have
definitely didn't get it right the past 2-3 years.
That's all I'm saying. I can't let that be the criteria. And I'm a Shawn Michaels guy. I mean, what the fuck? It's HBK's right here. But I also got the best there is, the best there was, the best ever will be.
That's a juicy contradiction.
I'm a walking contradiction. Okay. Shout out to Wash the Bass. All right. Shit. What number are we on? 3. No, 2.
Number 3. 2.
Hold on. Shit. So hold on.
Dwayne's not there.
Shit. Okay.
Number 2. Number 2.
Yeah. Hey, nothing you can say. Nothing's gonna take what you got from me. Now is my time to shine.
Was
mine. Hold on, I'm not done.
I am under the belief.
Okay, I'm done.
I am under the belief that when it comes to this modern day era, for the past, let's say,
biased, by the way, y'all. That's his favorite
ever since he came into professional wrestling. So from now until he debuted, I think that Randy Orton is the greatest modern day era heel that we've had. The only other person that could probably combat him if he wasn't gone for 9-10 years is Edge, right? So he's obviously like, I'm not just saying this because we're talking about Orton today, but
that's your favorite guy though, yo. That's like your favorite fucking wrestler.
Okay, but still at the same time, he's the greatest third generation superstar
of all time. No, because
there's nothing murky about that.
There's nothing murky about third generation. Hold on. Think about third generation stars. All right, so name three.
He has his daddy, his grandfather, and his daddy.
Name three other third generation stars.
Orton is third, but Charlotte's second, and you're forgetting about Rock.
The Rock is third generation wrestler. Right. That's why. Right. So I think Rock goes over Orton. Right. Rock, you said greatest. Orton. That's all. So put Orton second to none, but second to Rock.
Do you think that The Rock is better than Randy Orton in a wrestling ring?
Absolutely.
In a wrestling ring, as in putting on an actual wrestling match?
As a wrestling, hold on. As a wrestler, not as an entertainer.
I think Randy Orton is better.
Hold on. Now let me jump in there. It depends on what wrestling we're talking about. But you know, I can't even front.
I will say this. I think we were robbed of the fact that we should have had a Rock versus Randy Orton match. I think
a long time ago.
The only thing we got was him and Mick Foley versus Evolution.
Well, I mean, if you consider the fact that the handicap match, the players in that match, that match is not as big as it really should be when you look at it on paper. Batista, Randy Orton, and freaking Ric Flair versus Mick Foley and Rock. I mean, that's just...
Rock came back with a goatee like somebody's daddy.
Rock came back and you could tell, hey, I'm here one day a year.
That's number one.
And number one. I think this is everybody.
It's everybody, yeah. It's duh. Everybody. Hold on. First of all, King Vaughn putting this shit back. Like, it better be Orton and Rock. I mean, Orton and Cena.
I've been relatively quiet. I didn't know the format y'all were using, so I do apologize. This is the two of y'all talked about this pre-show and said this is y'all top 7, right?
No,
some people might wonder why this guy isn't on here. Why is he not on here? Because he lost 9 years of his career.
I'm sorry. Really? That's the criteria you're going with?
Yes.
So longevity, is it okay for me to rebuttal yet?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. All right. So
executive.
I completely. I don't. Let me put it this way because I want to be polite about this. I don't disagree. If I disagree,
don't be polite. This is the fucking around the block.
I would have hit a dice.
If it's an unpopular view, then be unpopular.
I would have walked out immediately on your crappy choices, but I want to respect them, right? But I had some honorable mentions of my own, right? And I'm so glad you put them up here.
You're bringing his own honorable mentions to the
I am. So my honorable mention goes to this guy right here, Edge. Why is he on my list of honorable mentions? Because he had an impact. And if you look at the list of retirements, he had one of the biggest impacts of retirement of any wrestler. When he came out there were tears in the eyes. His impact of retirement was so special, they had to give him a Raw and a SmackDown and then bring him back for the pay-per-view. So I had to give Edge something, okay? I got to go with Batista. Where he at? Throw him in there. Batista was not the staple of SmackDown for 5 years. I disagree with that, but I think he was impactful.
He said one of the main staples.
But somebody else would say he was like top 3.
I said top 5.
I can't top 5.
Top 5.
At a SmackDown,
when you have
SmackDown stars,
we have Undertaker.
It was him.
Undertaker. You have
Rock,
AJ Styles.
Taker.
Rock. You have Roman Reigns right now, who's been killing it. JBL.
I'm not putting AJ Styles there.
Eddie Guerrero. Okay, so that. And then this one, everybody's going to hate me for, but guess what? Kiss my ass. And that will be...
He said, kiss my ass.
Where's he at?
Get your chapter.
There he is. The heartbreak is Shawn Michaels. Okay? Why? Look at Dice. Look at Dice. I'll make you stand up and leave soon, okay? Shawn Michaels had some tremendous matches. Look at Vaughn typing away down there. But Shawn Michaels had tremendous matches. However, right? Outside of matches, right? And the storylines being told, he was not really that impactful as a wrestler because he didn't want to win any championships. His goal was to get other people over. That's all he tried to do. He took a lot of L's in his second run as a WWE superstar, right? That's just my opinion. Somebody who I don't think was not mentioned, and I don't understand why he was not mentioned, and his picture's not even up here, is your former reigning, defending, undisputed WWE heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
He's definitely should be somewhere in the
consistency. He debuted in 2002. He didn't leave to 2004. He came back, Mr. Kurt Angle. He came back in the year 2010. I'm sorry, 2012. And he's been with the company pretty much ever since. And he put out banger versus banger, WrestleMania main event, He's just been for him not to be even be mentioned. Travis.
Him not being mentioned is an apology in a Shawn mockery. I agree with that. Brock Lesnar should have been mentioned.
He should have been mentioned.
I 100%. I 100% agree with that. He should have been mentioned.
There'll be no John Cena if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar because
I agree with that. Well, I don't know about that part. There it is. He said
I said it.
He said it. He said it.
If Brock Lesnar did not leave in 2004, do you think John Cena will be as big as he is?
No, I don't think.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes,
because Brock Lesnar would have been holding that baton the whole time, and he wouldn't have relinquished it.
When Brock Lesnar was leaving, they were already.
So I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, executive. You're going with the storyline. You're going with the storyline, and that's exactly what he said when he came back and he told Cena that it would not be a John Cena if he didn't leave.
Who did they put him against immediately to do that story? Because that's the truth. Because it's not about anything but the moments. And Brock Lesnar has had more moments than almost anybody else that you mentioned on this list in the last 20 years. I'm sorry. Including what George Samuel Lewis, what the Overseer just put out here. Brock Lesnar did beat The Undertaker on WrestleMania Streak, something people still talk about to this day. Okay?
I have to agree that I was a little tipsy today. I took a personal day. Brock Lesnar not being on this list.
Because you were scaring me. I was like, damn, you at work. You like, let me call you.
Because I didn't call you today. Right? I always call you.
No, I'm good.
Okay, but no, I think we made a mistake with Brock Lesnar. I did.
Okay. This guy, Mike said it earlier. I ranked him a little lower, right? Because I don't think his run was that long. However, nobody can deny the impact of popularity Daniel Bryan had, so I had to put him number 6. Number 5, where's the guy at? I'm sorry. I said it so many times on the show, and people inbox me cursing me out. But the greatest world title reign I have ever seen in my life,
in our lifetime,
this lifetime, this man has held the title for 604 days, right? And people want him to hold it for 900. Literally, they want him to hold it to WrestleMania 39. Even CM Punk, people ready for him to lose the title. Except for they said, "Oh, he should have waited till next month because they didn't think Rock should have won." Whatever.
That bitch in the freezer, it was great.
Roman Reigns. I've been watching on YouTube his contract signing promos. You'll always be my favorite number 2. See what I'm saying? Did there Z? That's why you need to walk off, right? So, next, you want to talk about moments? I agree that I understand why you said about the 90s, but 2000s there were more years in 2000s than there were in the 90s. Let's just be real. And WrestleMania was main evented outside the world title by The Undertaker. People bought tickets to see The Undertaker. Even though I thought he was actually retired, people still wanted to see The Undertaker. When Brock Lesnar beat him, I was like, don't come back out. What happens? He comes back out. It's the biggest ovation of the night. When Roman Reigns beat him, I said,
I'm just doing this because I got to put Vaughn's shirt on the TV screen with the Legend Killer shirt. That's
It gets the biggest pop of the night. People want to see The Undertaker all the time for WrestleMania. He is always going to be over. You can't not give him his gesture.
I didn't need to see him this year.
You didn't need to see him, but who had one of the biggest pops of the night?
I cheered my ass off when he came.
2 nights.
So we basing criteria off of a pop. That's what you said.
It's the moment.
A pop.
The pop is what gets people to buy tickets. The pop is what gets people to buy merchandise.
Okay, since you are the wrestling encyclopedia, not naming Shawn Michaels or Triple H, give me 5 meaningful runs of feuds that Undertaker had.
You're talking about not including Undertaker. Not including Shawn Michaels.
Since 2000, the criteria.
Randall Keith Orton, your guy.
Okay.
He was one of the first people to put him on that map.
Yep.
Everybody knows that.
The rated R superstar Edge put his ass over. The Animal.
That's it. That's it. After that, it's murky.
I don't know about that.
Who else after those 3?
Big Show. Big Show. He did.
You tripping. Big Show.
He had a great match with Big Show Survivor Series 2009 casket match. Yes, Big Show.
I'm not debating none of this. I'm in the middle of this one. Like I can't.
This one, you didn't. You began to walk off, but you didn't. But this one will make you walk off. Heidenreich.
No. Oh, you trolling me now.
That one wasn't troll because I needed time to remember. But I'm thinking about that. Speaking of Randall Keith Orton, Randall Keith Orton is my number 4. Oh shit! I mentioned Brock Lesnar, my number 3 too. All right, we gotta change that. Skip number 3. Go to number 2 is Triple H. And number 1 is John Cena. In my opinion.
I'm not. Listen, the way that you revamp the list, I'm gonna say 2 words for you. Fuck you. Second, I'm gonna say I can't necessarily. I would put Brock Lesnar in there. I do think that it was a big mistake us not doing that. And by doing that, this is where it gets murky. This is where it gets murky for you, Dice.
I wanted to put Jericho.
I'm going to
AJ's probably gone.
I think AJ's
but
gone.
I don't. But okay.
But I also,
now,
hold on. I'm sorry,
have,
not AJ. Let me say AJ. You put word in my mouth real fast. Your guy's gone.
I don't think he belongs in there. Kurt Angle's one of my favorite wrestlers
because he went to TNA.
I always say that I believe Kurt Angle would have been arguably the greatest of all time if he never left WWE.
If he'd have stayed, or at least
if we're talking about all around skill,
I think it's Kurt Angle's the greatest of all time.
That he's the greatest in that ring.
I think in a squared circle, yes.
However, I think what makes my list very unique, right, is the fact that 2 guys whose main runs have been somewhere else.
Mark Henry.
Like there's no denying that you can Google any article that you want in the past 10 years, and it will arguably say that AJ Styles he's been the best wrestler in the world. Period.
That is an argument. That's an argument.
You can keep going and say, and you can keep going and go 15 years, and it'll put Kurt Angle as the best wrestler in the world. So for those reasons, I feel like they need to be acknowledged, and I had to put them on my list. However, if I was to take them 2 off, I would then ingratiate. I'd have to put Roman in there, and I would have to put
Brock.
I'd have to put Brock in there.
Well, see, you
that
say that
means I take Bryan off. I take Daniel Bryan off.
No, you're crazy.
You're
crazy.
No,
it's my time now. It's my time. I'm waiting long enough. I'll let y'all argue.
I have one question.
What?
For you. When did Daniel Bryan really break the ceiling to be big enough? Has it been longer than AJ Styles? How long has Daniel Bryan been a main eventer?
I'm sorry.
That's all I want to know.
Because
AJ Styles has been a main eventer for a better part of 10 years.
No.
It's a difference between main eventing and TNA.
God damn it, can you not hear me? Is my fucking mic on? Okay, it is on.
Look like you went to the bathroom.
I'm just saying, nobody's talking about a in another company and saying they're the best in the world. I'm just saying.
Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Daniel Bella, is way bigger than AJ Styles in every fucking sense of the word professional wrestling.
I agree.
It's not even close, Dice.
You don't get that many walk-offs. All right,
you're supposed to get one.
I'll catch y'all later. Hey, everybody, follow me. Follow me on Facebook. Y'all follow me on Twitter. All that.
You can't promote our shit. You can't promote. You can't. No. Get out of here. He walked off. He can't be promoting our shit. We both take
him off there at the same time, though. That's the funny part. We both was removing his ass from the show.
You can't fire yourself and then be like,
I quit. I'm fired. I quit. I'm fired. No, listen to me. All bullshit aside, we're gonna move on again.
I agree with Mike. I think Daniel Bryan is bigger.
Daniel Bryan is next to in the modern day. So I'm gonna go modern. The last 15 years, 10 years, arguably the biggest wrestler in professional wrestling.
I know they were in Seattle, but that time when they had all the former world champions in the ring at the same time, and it was supposed to be about John Cena and Randy Orton, and they were just like going crazy for Daniel Bryan, that they hijacked the segment.
Yeah. For the second time, he's talking about a pop.
The pop is what makes
matters.
It does.
See, hold on, Dice. Hold on. And I know you're going. I know sometimes you don't like being a little. I won't say upstage, but we arguably put CM Punk there because of his return.
I know you put CM Punk there because of his return. I put CM Punk there because the impact of the pipe bomb. Because now everybody claims that they're doing pipe bombs. We haven't heard the word pipe bomb.
The return, pipe bombs, yes movement.
The return, yeah, I would say the yes movement was bigger than the pipe bomb.
People still do this when they ask the question all the time. They're like, "Hey, do you want to see us wrestle tonight?" They're like, "Yes."
It still goes.
They still do the what chant?
Yeah,
you're my point exactly.
Yeah,
but I don't hear people say pipe bomb. No.
Yeah, every time somebody grabs a microphone, they're like, "Oh, did you see them? They laid a pipe bomb tonight."
No,
Tony Rhodes had a pipe bomb.
Hold on, no. Here's the problem with that, guys.
No,
wrestling fans say that, not the business itself. And wrestling fans, I'm sorry, this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fans are stupid.
If you search GIFs, you're going to find Daniel Bryan doing a yes chant. Actually, all you have to do is type in yes. But if you type in pipe bomb, I don't think you're going to see CM Punk there saying this.
All right.
I am. I'm about to check.
Now, as I can say, as I'm gonna get through this, I will rearrange it in my prediction, and I didn't do that at first, but I like the people that he put up there. I would put fucking Brock Lesnar number one. I think he's the biggest. I would put him number one. I really would.
That is very arguable.
I would put him number one of the modern day, because not only was he is the modern, he is the next big thing. He's not the next. He is the big thing. No one in the modern era has more main event matches than him. And I don't mean main event meaning just WrestleMania. When he shows up, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. Okay?
It's like Charlotte Flair in the women's division. Anytime you insert him in there, it legitimizes and that's what the word they used when they brought him back in 2012. He legitimizes the match. He legitimizes
he makes you think, will he win? Yeah. Will he win? I think AJ's off the list. I think for what it's worth, Kurt's off the list of the 7. I have nothing against them. I think inside the square circle, no one's better than Kurt Angle. But I think the TNA run did kind of stunt his growth. So with that being said,
you were never a TNA watcher. You were never a TNA guy.
No, you always say that bullshit, and I did watch TNA. I just didn't love it like you loved it. There's a difference. I watched it like I fucking watch Impact or Dynamite every fucking week. We sit here together in a party playing the game, and not one time we ever say to each other, "Yo, that was some good ass shit." We never do that. We never always say, "Yo, you see Jay Cardell? Shit, yo, Jay Cardell's coming on the screen," and you'll go, "You see that motherfucking Toy Conti?" So no, that's not. Don't spit out no liquor. That's just expensive. Okay, even that fucking peach parmesan or pineapple parmesan. All right, so we're gonna move on, and we're gonna celebrate this guy right here, Randall Keith Orton, y'all. 20 years. Okay. That needs to be respected. I think it needs to be appreciated. And I'm going to give that an applause for 20 years of Randy Orton. What this guy has done in this business. You see it right there. It came in April 25th, 2002. 14-time world champion, tied for 3rd. First ever world heavyweight champion. WWE world heavyweight champion means that's the belt they took from, that's Big Goldie. Okay. Youngest world heavyweight champion. They did it on purpose to take the off of Brock Lesnar because Brock left the company. Okay. Because he was that big. They got mad and said, fuck, he can't have the fucking record. Give it to somebody who's going to stay. So they gave it to Randy Orton. One-time U.S. champion, which is surprising to me. He only had that belt one time.
Fastlane 2018 defeated Rock.
And it's surprising me that he's only had one time in a Continental champion, which means, damn. He's had all these accolades over 20 years. He's only had 2 of the arguably the biggest workhorse titles. When I would say Randy Orton's the modern-day workhorse of professional wrestling.
He was one of the best Intercontinental champions in the 2000s. I mean, 2000 to 2000 to 2010.
Most matches in premium live events, which I hate that name, which means pay-per-view. Okay.
It makes more sense.
Two-time, huh?
It makes more sense to call it a premium live event.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not a pay-per-view anymore.
I go back to closed circuit television, okay? So fuck you.
Oh, here we go.
Okay? Closed circuit television, okay? 2-time World Raw Tag Team Champion, 1-time SmackDown Champion, 1-time World Tag Team Champion, Grand Slam Champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner 2009 and 2017, Money in the Bank, which when he won that year shocked a lot of fucking people, okay? In most matches in WWE Raw history. He is a stablemate. We talk about people not getting hurt in professional wrestling. Randy's been hurt.
A few times.
Okay? A few times.
Quite a few times, actually.
And one of my favorite Randy Orton moments when I became a fan, I always say day 1, day 2, that kind of stuff, right? That means when you first saw them, were you a fan? I wasn't a fan at first. All right? First thing when it comes to Cody, I saw Cody and I became a fan about 2 months into his career with Bob Holly. And I was like, okay, I could see it. But at first, I wasn't a fan. So I always say secondary fan. With Randy, if you notice, Dice, you've known me for about 6 or 7 years now. Well, actually, longer than I've been in Florida for 5 years. So about 8, 9 years now. You've never seen me with a Randy Orton shirt.
No.
Okay. But that's personal because I don't like putting, same thing with Stone Cold. I don't put certain symbols on my body. Right. So I don't put skulls and, things like that on my body. But arguably, I think Randy Orton, look at Charmaine just over here being nasty, talking about he's sexy. Was that Daddy Orton? Shout out to C Superior. Everybody's got to be Daddy. Was it Moon Daddy, Bat Daddy, Orton Daddy? There it is, right? Charmaine, little damn girls. But Randy Orton, I would say, will go down in WWE history. Not maybe fans' lore or your personal lore, but in WWE world. In the WWE universe, is he A pillar. That's 4. Mount Rushmore. That's 4. Is he a pillar, Dice, of the WWE? So you got to put Hogan, Cena, Rock. I don't think so. But he's on the outside. If there's a second list,
an unspoken pillar that hasn't crossed over to movies.
Tell us what.
Television.
What is Chris telling us?
I'm not going to say pop culture. I'm not going to say pop culture because clearly the RKO memes have crossed over into pop culture, and people who don't even know what an RKO was now know what an RKO is. So when it comes to talk shows and movies and guest appearances on television shows and movies, he's not regarded as a pillar in that state. But if we're talking about strictly in professional wrestling, I think so. But it's kind of unfair to kind of separate those two in that sense. So I'm going to say no, but he's still highly regarded.
I don't think Mandy Rose is that pretty, personally. That's just me, and I voted for Ed Tough Enough every week. Me and my son. Listen. You have I'm an ass man, or I'm a titty guy. I'm a face man. Dice makes fun of me every week. I'm a face man. I get tired of people saying, "You don't F her face." The hell you do? Yes, you do. I'm a face man. Sorry, you can't be. I think Mandy Rose has a pie face. She has a hell of a body, though. Hell of a body. But I think facial wise. And by the way, Mandy Rose is cute in every woman in AEW minus Jay Cardell. I think
Anna Jay.
I think companies.
Anna Jay's really pretty.
Hear me out. I didn't say she's not pretty. To me, when I look at the WWE wrestlers, women that are like their top women,
they ain't got no body like
they blow any other woman away.
I give you that.
When it comes to looks, other companies get like shit the WWE turned down. I'm just being real. Even their backstage women look hot.
Untouchable. They look untouchable. They look like models. They look untouchable. So but that could be their persona of them creating a larger than life character.
If you want to be nice, WWE just came out. I got the text. All right, we got 20% off. We got 20 years of the RKO new Randy Orton merchandise shirt. It's the RKO shirt, like the NWO with him. Like
I'm on the shop right now.
I just got the text. I take what size I wear. You don't got to tell the world. Okay, so I'll take one. But 20 years of Orton, Dice, that's your guy. That's like your top 3, if I'm not mistaken, right? How you feel about 20 years of Randy Orton? Are you like tonight? What can we feel the celebration? I think he gets his ass whooped tonight. He gets his ass whooped tonight.
I feel old, man. I remember watching. I remember watching this cocky young guy, and all I could think about was, he's annoying as shit, but I like it. Like, he comes out there in a sling, like, hey, nobody asked for me, but I'm sitting at like 39%. Pretty soon I'm going to be out there, like, So I thought it was pretty. I think it's a pretty dope thing. I guess I'm starting to feel like how you feel now. Watching people that you grew up on, because I'm only 35, so he's been wrestling
your whole life,
like my whole life. So I only got to see Sting. I got introduced to Sting in '93, so I had to go back to watch Sting. Even though Sting's my favorite of all time, I had to go back to watch him. But I feel like I feel a sense of like, damn, I'm really old because I got to watch somebody's like whole life and career right before my eyes, and it's blown by. Like, you would think that, how many times we look at somebody and you say like, dang, they're probably approaching 40.
Yeah.
What? This motherfucker's 42? Like,
John Cena just turned 45.
40 years old. Finn Balor's 40 years old. AJ Styles is like 44.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because some of these people are putting on some of the best matches that they've ever done. Somebody like Roman. Roman's like, what, 35, 36?
I think he's 35, 36.
Can I say this to you? There's a difference between wrestling today is different than it was yesteryear. Like, Kurt Angle looked old. He got old really fast to me in wrestling. Like, his body, his face. Orton doesn't look like that. So that means he's taking care of himself a little bit better. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dr. D from the Wrestling Marks Excellence watching us on Twitter. I appreciate that. He actually said, where's Brock Lesnar on the list? And we put him on there. Go ahead, Dice.
I just wanted to say that also, if you think of a guy like Hulk Hogan,
right? Hulk Hogan was in his 30s and he was already balding. Like Hulk Hogan looked like he was almost 50.
So savage.
Hulk Hogan like he was almost 50 for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But now he's moving like he's 90. But a guy like Orton, he's one of these guys who realizes that he needs to take care of his body. And he says that he wishes he chose a different finisher, because when he comes back and do like a Legends night, he gonna break his damn hip trying to do an RKO. He gonna turn he's gonna go back to the overdrive or wherever the fuck that bullshit was. But in closing, Orton is my guy through and through. I think he's top 3, one of the greatest heels that I've ever witnessed from start to finish. I think that he doesn't get enough respect for the characters that he can portray. But that's not saying, I think that when it's all said and done, I'm going to put him around 14 to 15 world championship reigns. I think he's going to be slightly under John or at the level of John when it's all said and done, because he plans to wrestle until he's 50.
I think he's under John, but above Edge when it comes to that class.
We had this conversation before. We think that, if Edge had never retired, they probably all 3 of them will be on the same plateau. Yeah. So
with that being said, guys, we got Raw tonight. Please tune in, comment below, let us know. Matter of fact, when I say comment below, let us know, that means immediately following. Well, I shouldn't say that because that's wrong. They get mad at me. Guys, I'm new to Unpopular Review, and I'm trying to push my agenda on this team. I want everybody to be on time. So when Raw goes off at 11 o'clock, go take a shit, go get a beer, come back at 11:15, right? Come back for this motherfucker here. Are you a police officer or a model? Mr. Mike Lowry, Chris, executive consultant here with his model picture up, and Steve come back for the Raw result. Hopefully Raw's great tonight, right? I talked to Steve last night. He always likes Raw, so that's good. I love people who like stuff. Then Tuesdays, like I said before, guys, check out Bad Guy Jack and Captain Captain Shakespeare. Sorry, ran names together. Shut up, laughing at me backstage. Then we got the husband and wife couple. Boy, I tell you, boy, listen, we want to see some HLA on the screen between each of you. Okay,
John's not a lesbian.
Okay, well, would you say not a lesbian?
John is not a lesbian.
You stupid. Of course John's not a lesbian. He's a guy.
Why we want to see HLA?
Okay. Well, maybe he want to involve his wife. Then we got the wrestling doll and the revolving door, right? Or the forbidding door of Unpopular
That
Review.
is not a good acronym.
The former
That is not a good acronym.
It's not. I'll just say it's the former world champion vacant is
it's coming on SmackDown. Vacant. All right. So
well,
there
it's
that
not
go.
revolving door coming.
I'm excited about tonight's Raw because again, I didn't think last week's Raw was bad, but will we actually see Asuka show up tonight? All right, I want to see that as well.
Under on that. I'm going to go over. I'm going to believe that. I want to believe it. So I'm going full in. I'm going Raw. No top hat. I'm going Raw. I believe it. I'm going with it.
No, Becky Lynch returns tonight.
Well, we know Becky returns because they advertised that. But then the dirt sheets, which I say hashtag Death the Dirt Sheets, say that Asuka shows up shows up tonight, and then Dice put in he booked it like the last time they touched was when she relinquished the belt to Asuka. That'd be good to see Asuka interfere in her return.
The only reason I don't think that's going to happen, I think it's going to be Becky going after Bianca Belair again
because of backlash.
It's because the backlash is coming up, and
they're
first
going
I thought it was going to be Sonya versus Bianca, but since they're not doing that and they're doing that tonight to try to push the Tennessee agenda for Bianca Belair,
right?
Bianca needs an opponent at WrestleMania Backlash, and it makes sense at this point for it to be Becky Lynch.
Well, I agree. Go ahead, Dice. Before we get out of here,
since we're about to close out and we did a top 7 theme,
I
just want to go with the top 7 rivals of Randy Orton really quick. There's a really
not in order, right?
Bleacher Report. I read it front
I'm sorry.
and back.
Did you say Bleacher Report?
I did say Bleacher Report, and I looked at 5 different articles, and they seem to line up very, very good depending on the placement that you like it. Honorable mentions is we're gonna go with Batista, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Sheamus, and Shawn Michaels. Now the top 7 goes
his whole
7 Jeff Hardy, 6 Undertaker, 5 Edge, 4 Christian, 3 Mick Foley, 2 Triple H, 1 we know who it is, John Cena.
First of all, 1 and 2 perfect. The rest, this is why Bleacher Reports is
it gets very murky, but it's not the only one.
I'm glad they gave Christian
they had
respect.
3 and 5 switched around. They had Christian at like number 3. Because that was a pretty
Randy Orton gives Christian a lot of credit. And he said that's what turned him around as far as, and I think so, because I'm one of the people, and I know I'm in minority here, but I'm one of the people who prefer Randy Orton as a babyface. I think he's more entertaining that way. I think his matches are more entertaining.
He has more fun, and I love seeing wrestlers who look genuine. You know what I mean? But no, we're getting out of here, Chris. So with that being said, who the fuck put Brock Lesnar on the goddamn screen?
My bad. So some of the kind things that people said about Orton. He was instrumental to The Miz and becoming a main eventer. I think that's pretty dope because, you know, there's a lot of people that Miz always thanks, and he's gotten to the point where now he knows to pay homage. There's another shot of those two guys. 18 years ago, Backlash with Mick Foley.
Of all time. Listen, that's one of my favorite. Mick Foley to me not only helped Triple H get over, he helped Randy Orton get over.
Absolutely. And then the last one that I wanted to share, this one of the greatest rivals that we've seen, and him becoming the apex predator and the whole stalking, you know, thing when he shaved his head and he stalked Stephanie and he kissed her while Triple H was handcuffed. It was great. But it showed us a better unveiling of a heel for Randy Orton. I thought that was pretty cool. So I just wanted to share that really quick before we got out of here so we can celebrate 20 years of Randy Orton.
Randy Orton helped The Miz get bigger than AEW. I'm actually going to pin that comment as we get out of here, guys.
That's great.
Listen, do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me, and don't love God, y'all. We out of here. We see y'all next week, y'all. Smash them like buttons, y'all. Perfect Plex Talk Radio. We back, baby!
Yeah. Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're wrong, what you getting in? Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, this a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You can call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling.